Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is my latest Decksperiment, where I take a crazy idea for a deck, try to build it live right here on the spot, and then take that crazy deck out onto the ranked ladder to see how it performs. This time around, my prompt, I was given the suggestion to create a deck that used only common quality cards. So that means no epics, no rares, not even basic cards, presumably, because they're not specifically common, which means the white little gem here in the middle. So no legendaries, of course. So I have to use common cards only. Now, you'll note that most classes don't have that many common cards. You start to run out pretty quickly. Most of the key cards are also basic cards with no rarity. So it's going to be pretty challenging to build a good list using only common cards, and I don't also know which class even to start with. So I think the first challenge is to just go class by class and see who has the best common cards and see if any of those can kind of thematically build into a deck. So up first is Druid. Keep an eye out, there are still actually, maybe this will, yeah, this will sort out all the common cards for us if you turn on crafting. So, alright, taking a look at Druid. I actually do see some kind of beast aggro Druid list shaping up already. Just on this first page, you've got token type minions with Power of the Wild. You've got some beasts in the early game, a buff for those beasts, some removal. Like, this page is actually pretty good. Like, you could put together a pretty decent aggro token beast Druid deck right here. Even Mounted Raptor and Soul of the Forest fit that mentality. Druid of the Claw. Okay, so Druid's actually a potential one. And of course we'd have to fill in the rest with, you know, neutral cards. So Druid looks good. Hunter, you know, Fiery Bat's good. King Zealot is good. But Quick Shot's good. But it starts to trail off pretty quickly. There's absolutely zero late game. And you'll note that if you look here, there are no good late game neutral cards, right? Bog Creeper, North Sea Kraken, like that's about it for commons, of course. Really, it's where the legendaries, of course, are what really shine at this rank, at this mana cost. But it's really hard to find. There are some dragon. Yeah, none of the dragons are common though. Blackwing Corruptor's good, but none of the dragons. So Stranglethorn Tiger is another beast to consider with Druid, so that's another one that looks intriguing. So that said, like, Hunter would just run out of stuff too fast, I think. Not enough card quality or enough curve. Although Desert Camel's somewhat intriguing. You could build a pretty fast list. Fiery Bat on the hunt, King Zealot, camels, a couple traps. So that's actually got some promise too, particularly if you use stuff like Abuse Sergeant Argent Squire for super low kind of face hunter curve. On to Mage. Not bad. Mana Worm, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Forgotten Torch, Spell Slinger. Conjurer's good. Faceless Summoner is good too. Mage is good, but could you really make it work without Frostbolt and Fireball? I don't know. These spells, you can't build a Tempo Mage, of course. Have to be a, I don't know, almost like a grinder or control style mage, but there's not enough late game for that. Paladin, this page is terrible. Oldman and Murloc Knight are okay, but there's not enough there to build a deck out of, I don't think. Priest. Thoughtsteal's intriguing, right? Because Thoughtsteal can turn into better cards, so that's kind of a promising lead. And Tomb's also something that can turn into better cards. That's kind of intriguing. I just don't know if the rest of these pieces make sense. It's an okay card. This is an okay card. This is an okay card. But without some of the key pieces like Northshire Cleric for card draw, I just don't think you'd be able to put together a good deck. Rogue, let's see. Nothing here looks that exciting. Eviscerate, Tomb Pillager, Shadow Strike. You could probably run Undercity Valiant and be okay, but nothing like thematically connects here for common cards. Shaman, Trog, a lot of overload cards. It's 4 good overload cards. Totem Golem, Tuskar, oh my god. I feel like you could just build. I feel like you could just build mid-range Shaman right here. You've got your early game. You got your removal / damage. You got Totem Golem into Tuskar, into Flame Wreath. Even Fire God Destroyer could probably work into the deck. Right now, it's looking like Shaman and Druid make the most sense. Zoo? I literally called Warlock Zoo. But for Warlock, I feel like you could put together a pretty decent Zoo list. Imp, Villager, Overwhelming, Peddler, Imp King Boss, Councilman. Yeah. You wouldn't have good finishers. There's no Doom Guard, no Sea Giant, no Argent Commander even. So you'd have maybe trouble there. But as far as early game, you could assemble some pretty cool stuff. Warrior, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of good cards here, but they don't seem to work together very well, do they? Fierce Monkey, Ravaging Ghoul are all pretty good. Bloodhoof's good. You could put together like a Tempo Warrior deck with slams. Some early game. Yeah, but I feel like Hunter, like an aggro Hunter, Face Hunter, Druid, and Shaman definitely make the most sense. What I'm gonna do now is actually try to build one of these. Let's see what we can get out of a Shaman list, for instance. This might be a little boring if you're sick of seeing Shaman, but remember we can only choose common quality cards, so it has to have the gem. So we definitely want these. We can take at least a Stormcrack. Ancestral Knowledge. Sure, we'll see how it goes. Maybe we run some Unbound Elemental since we have a lot of overload. With the Stormcracks, the Knowledges. There's no Lightning Storm. So we have to be board-centric. We have to have a good curve. We won't have AoE removal. Can't run Fire Ellie. We have to run Fire Guard Destroyers. Can run Abusive Sergeant, Argent Squire. Direwolf Alpha's not bad with totems, right? Flame Juggler's a pretty good, you know, aggro style minion, just board presence minion. Let's think about that. We don't have any card draw. Well, we do actually. We have Ancestral Knowledge, so we're probably okay on Loot Hoarders or Acolyte of Pain, stuff like that. Argent Horse Rider's really good, but we don't actually have Flame Tongue Totem, so it gets worse, doesn't it? It's good with Rockbiter and Flame Tongue, neither of which we can run. So, we'll still try it. We'll see how it goes. We need like 5s and 6s, just a couple to top out this deck. Actually, Dark Iron Dwarf's pretty good too, just because we'll have a lot of stuff to buff on the board early. Let's see how that goes, and is there any good like 5 drops to finish this off? Frostwolf Warlord actually makes... Oh, it's not a common though. I gotta check these. Yeah, all common so far. Okay. Psychotron doesn't make a ton of sense. I mean, Bog Creepers go on everything, right? But they don't really fit the curve of this deck. We want to make sure we have a play every turn. Mookless Champion's kind of intriguing. It's a baby, I blanket on the name of the card, but it's a baby version of this card, Thunderbluff Valiant. Is there anything else? Good finishing pieces. Rumbling Elemental doesn't make sense. Can't even run Hex. No Feral Spirits. I mean, this deck doesn't feel like super powerful. I guess we could try like Primal Fusion. But we don't have any totems other than Hero Power and Totem Golem. And unlike a real mid-range Shaman, we don't want to be hero powering that much, because we're not setting up for Thing from Below. We're just building totems. That's it. That's our only value. So this is more like a Zoo style than a Hero Power style. That said, do we even need Ancestral Knowledge? I guess so, just because the overload's good. Nerubian Prophet's kind of intriguing. Volcanic Drake's probably not good because we won't be clearing the board any. That's too slow. Azure Drake would be cool, but again, oops, didn't mean to do that. Clockwork Knight's not any good. Man, there just aren't a lot of good common cards in the late game. There's just like none. I guess we'll try Muklas and go back and grab that Unbound Elemental. So this is probably what my Shaman list would look like, right? Pretty just aggro style Shaman. A lot of big threats at the 4 spots, but just be super aggressive early. Try to hit your 1 and 2. In fact, does it even need another 1-drop? Just for consistency, are there any good ones? Gadgets and Jouster maybe, but we'd never win the Joust. Hungry Crab, a lot of people run Sir Finley. That's kind of funny. Oh, we can't run Hungry Crab though, it's a purple. Sussy Deckhand, no. Lily Squire, no. Tentacle of Dezoth, no. Young Priestess is... Oh, I can't even run Young Priestess, so not that either. No. I don't really see any other 1-drops that fit. Dust Devil, definitely not. No, I think this is probably what my list would look like. So, I mean, that actually feels pretty good, just because there's some super power cards in here. Tuskar, Flame Wreath, the same. Well, Totem Golem, Tunnel Star, basically the same 4 power cards in standard mid-range Shaman. But what would a Druid list look like? Now, this is a little new for Decksperiment. I don't usually try to build 2 decks, but I just want to see what how they'd line up, essentially, how they'd compare to one another. So definitely Living Roots. Definitely Raven Idol. Perhaps even Naturalize, just to get through big taunts and stuff. Druid of the Saber, Mark of Yashiraj. We want all these Beast synergy cards. We want Mounted Raptor. Can't take anything here. Maybe like 1 Soul of the Forest, just to give our board some resiliency occasionally, although we won't really have big boards because we don't have Violet Teachers, so maybe not. Try a Druid of the Claw. Dark Arakoa actually is a common, but it doesn't really, it's a little slow for the deck, I think. Yeah, just a little too slow. We want more, we want more tokeny stuff like Argent Squires, little minions that we can stack up really quickly. Although, I mean, we don't have a great finisher because we won't have Savage Roar, right? No Savage Roar, so we won't have like a ton of damage for these minions to even do anything. I mean, other than just, you know, standard killing people. Like Abusive Sergeant for trading. Nothing here is looking good. Bilefin helps you build the board a little. Direwolf Alpha is a beast and makes sense with the deck. Huge Toad makes sense. Lance Carrier's the possibility. Loot Hoarders for some draw, maybe. Probably not, though. River Croc and the Raptor are options as beasts, but is there a good 3 or 4 mana beast that we can run? Not that. Nope. Silted Swarmer's a blue. Wouldn't probably run it anyway, even though we can attack a lot. Warhorse, but it's a blue. I know I could hit Beast, but I'm also just keeping an eye out for other cards here that could fit. Oasis Snapjaw's not actually a common, so that's not an option. Tomb Spider's kind of intriguing. Yeah, maybe a Tomb Spider. Refill our hand, give us that occasional King Crush victory. Yeah, this isn't the worst list, right? It's different, at least. But I just wonder if there's a way to win. I guess you could Raven Idol into Savage Roar. You've got Power of the Wild to buff all your early game stuff. I just think this deck's going to run out of gas really quickly. Because, you know, you don't have really anything beyond turn 3 or 4. And, you know, if you draw this hand right here, you're going to be empty by turn 3. There's no Innervate, so you're not going to, like, be totally dead each hand, or each turn. Because you'll be refilling your hand with at least a single card. Probably keep up a little better. In other words, you won't dump everything you have on turn 1. This is intriguing, right? There's Wrath for draw, Mark of Yashiraj for draw. Really aggressive minions. Tomb Spider, sort of some draw. Well, now I'm very curious. I mean, I think the Shaman deck's better because this just looks like a standard, you know, kind of aggro mid-rangey Shaman with some substitutions. But I think it's more boring, right? I think I actually want to just play the Druid instead because this is more fun and this is a little different. And it still has all commons. So let's double check our list here. Yeah, all commons. Yeah, all commons. Not necessarily all craftable commons. Some of them are from adventures. But that wasn't actually what was asked of me. I was asked to build a list out of common cards specifically. Not necessarily like a budget style list. Just a common list. So let's go ahead and call this the Common Druid. And see how it goes. Let's go ahead and take it out on the ranked ladder. Let's play it. I'm probably going to sacrifice some ranks here. Well, I don't think I'm going to hit Legend anyway. Play too many goofy decks this month. So, no Legend for me. It's been a little while, but someday I'll try hard. See if we can't get a top 100 before too long. I don't think so. Alright, so this is definitely going to surprise our opponent. Alright, we don't want the Raven Idol on 1. We actually want minions, right? We don't even probably want the Raptor or the Abusive Sergeant. Although the Abusive Sergeant can be coined out, so let's go ahead and keep it and see if we can't kill like a Tunnel Trog with an Abusive Sergeant or with a Origin Squire. So this is only good against Flame Wreath Faceless in this matchup, but it might actually win us the game. So we don't really care about them getting cards. We're trying to kill them super quickly. So I might just coin this out as a stealth to challenge this. But it's actually not very good, other than that I can use the Yashiraj buff on it. So it will trade, but it'll waste a lot of damage too. So he's going to be surprised to see that, clearly. Oh, he's toteming. As long as it's not a taunt totem, I think we'll be fine. So yeah, this is a great play, honestly. He didn't get to buff this, so this is going to have a reasonable health total. Oh, that's not what we wanted to see. We don't need both of those. We do not need both of those. He can kill this with Rockbiter. Hopefully he doesn't kill with Lightning Bolt. That's worse because he doesn't take the damage. We want him taking damage. Well, he Rockbitered the totem. Oops, still bad. I think I might play this as a 5-2. I guess not against Shaman. It's going to eat a Power of the Wild buff, so it's fine. That it's a. If he plays the Flame Wreath, we'll naturalize Abusive Sergeant Power of the Wild, probably. It's not the best buff ever, but I'd love to see a 1-drop here. I'd just love to see a 1-drop so that I can get more value out of Power of the Wild. Alternatively, we can Wrath for 1 and just draw a card, I guess, and make this trade. I really think we're playing too slow for what this deck is meant to do, but since we do have the double Naturalize and the Druid of the Claw, it's like, yeah, maybe we can afford to a little bit, just because we can actually keep up with removal and then like swarm in a few turns and hope that he doesn't have Lightning Storm, because that would blow us out for sure. I mean, Tomb Hammer is annoying, but I can actually just taunt it out if I want. Plus it's not a board, and that's what I really care most about. Could also just load up here. Could Living Roots. He's going to be on 4 mana next turn. Can we really afford to play around Lightning Storm, right? Like, can't we just play Living Roots, Mounted Raptor, and Abusive Sergeant, and then try to hit the Power of the Wild next turn? I think so. Could also Power of the Wild on just Abusive Sergeant and Living Roots, but it still dies to Lightning Storm. So we can like kind of bait it out almost right now. Not bait it out, but at least not waste this resource and like test for it almost. If we had Savage Roar, this could be like lethal soon. But of course we don't get to run it because we're playing goofy decks. That sucks. Hopefully this hits 2. Yeah, that's actually relevant because now he can't weapon it very easily. He's worried about the beasts. What's he gonna play here? Argent Squire. I wish we could pull this thing back and use it. Alright, so this isn't the best hand in the world, but he theoretically can't kill the Druid of the Claw with what we see, right? He has 5 damage. And if he uses the weapon, he takes 8, which is what we want eventually. But again, this hand just sucks. We need him to play a big minion so I can naturalize. Oh, he's hexing. He's actually, it's a good read, just because we don't have valuable targets. Like, I'm gonna have to hero power pass, I guess. I don't know. Definitely not naturalizing a healing totem. That's fine, I guess. This is just awful. I can't charge this because it dies. I just need him to play something big. Get me in the game. To get some value here. Use some mana. He's only down to 19, so we're not ahead. He can kill this. The Lightning Storm is, I mean, we just can't play around that, right? It just kills us. He's going to trade here for free. That actually is worth a naturalize, at least. But I just don't have enough tokens to get value out of this. Direwolf, I can play it as a minion, maybe. We're just losing really hard. I mean, I have to go. It's just, we're just losing the game. I mean, we don't have any outs. We don't have swipes. We don't have. It actually becomes apparent pretty quickly how important a lot of those spells are. Right? We're just out of gas, and that was my biggest fear for this deck. Right? Is it just eventually run out of stuff because we blew our load. We played our hand, and he lightning stormed, and we just have no mechanism to recover. There's no refill. That's why Zoo is so good at this strategy. That's why Zoo is the king of swarming the board. It's because they have a couple things. They have the hero power to draw 2 cards per turn and just refill multiple minions, but also they have stuff like Forbidden Ritual that just summons a bunch of dudes. Raven Idol for a spell, I guess. I don't know. It's possible that something relevant comes out. Starfall. Actually, not terrible. I mean, we're not killing everything, but we are killing a lot of stuff. This can still handle a big guy. I mean, the game's not totally over, right? Like, he's at 12. I just need a big turn, but drawing 1 card per turn doesn't do it. Mark of Yashiraj would help. Maybe another Wrath, as long as he doesn't get a healing totem. That can handle that. That's fine. I don't really care about you drawing cards. So we can kill the 2 things that are most threatening here. I mean, usually Mana Tides are very threatening, but it's a good minion. It's a good minion. Gonna go ahead and play this as a minion since it's now behind a taunt, so hopefully we can, like, I don't know, somehow sneak in the damage necessary here to win the game. But I don't think we will. He'll have, like, Rockbiter, Trade. He'll be at 8. He'll have Lightning Bolt or Thing from Below. He should have, like, 2 free Thing from Belows to play, and then we'll never have a mechanism to get through those. And we'll lose the game. I'm actually impressed that we've gotten him to 12, partly because he's had to use Doomhammer to clear, but that is because our deck is so scary. I don't think that mattered much. Unless he can get through this and set up a trade. I feel like he wanted it here for some reason. Probably a Rockbiter trade. He can do that anyway though, so I don't know. Yeah, we can't even beat that card. Like, just one of them is too much. Primal Fusion for 6. Yeah. So about that. We need a 12 damage Pyroblast off the top. We actually need Yogg-Saron. You need Yogg-Saron. This guy's gonna think we have the worst deck ever, and he's probably right. He's probably right. I mean, honestly though, I'm not too ashamed that we got him to 12 and we're contesting the board, you know. If he hadn't had the lightning storm, which they don't always have, I think we would have won. Oh my god. That's about as brutal as it gets. How much damage does he have? 14, 19, 23, 28, 31, 42 damage plus a lightning storm to boot. 42 damage board. And I said it was close. I don't think it was close. You should always kill your opponent with your face when you can. It's like the ultimate insult. What's he doing? Come on, he's having way too much fun. We should kind of troll, right? Like, shouldn't we BM a little since he slow rolled us with 42 damage? I don't know. I think we should. If he's gonna BM, we could BM too. I don't like to concede, so I like to let people finish. Iori is really enjoying himself. Wonder if he knows he's on YouTube. Probably not. Let's get it going, dude. There you go. He found lethal. He spotted it. He can do math. Alright, I'm absolutely gonna slow roll this guy. I may edit it out of the video, but I'm actually gonna slow roll him now. I'm just gonna wait. I'm going to waste whatever it is, 90 seconds of his life. My anger has gotten the best of me. Well, actually, his bad manners have gotten the best of me. I'm not actually angry at all, but by God, I'm going to punish his mannerisms, the bad ones at that. I was gonna start singing the Jeopardy song, but I don't think I actually know the Jeopardy song. Whoops, a natural mistake. Wow, spectacular. He's actually out of cards. He's on a fatigue draw. He's gonna fatigue out. Whoops, a natural mistake. What to do? I can't decide what to do with my turn. Should I attack into this? I can't attack this minion without taunt? A minion with taunt is in the way. Spectacular. Alright, I'll win it if he doesn't end it this time. Alright, I've had my fun. You can't even play a minion. What good's it gonna be? How fun's this gonna be? How fun's this gonna be? Wow, spectacular. Hello, friend. I have Morgul too. He's pretty cool, but I like actually playing with the standard ones better. How fun would it be if we actually baited this out and he fatigued himself to death? How fun would that be? This is actually his first ever game of Hearthstone that he's won. First time ever. That's why he's really savoring the moment. He's being a legend like me. Oh, you can't even buff it, dude. You could have killed off a guy. Well, I guess you did kill off a guy. This is he's being a living legend. He wants this moment captured on YouTube forever. So he's really savoring his victory. He's really enjoying it. Iori is an absolute living legend. I thought the 42 damage kill was pretty cool, but he's done wasted it now. I wish I had a way to BM even further. I wish I had a way. Minion with taunt is in the way. Minion with taunt is in the way. Alright, we've had enough fun. If this was a regular video, I would do this, but Decksperiments are for fun. Decksperiments are for fun. I'm nice enough to let people have the win. I let them finish me off. I don't want to deny people killing blows. I want them to have their big moment with a giant bloodlust. You know, I always hate that when you have a cool play, especially on a video, and they just concede and you don't get to get your finish or set off your combo or show off your deck's cool thing. I gave it to him. Kind-hearted person. He threw it in my face. That's what he gets. Got all night, buddy. All night. So, Warrior is kind of scary, right? With Fiery War Axe could really shut us down. But we'll go greedy in the mulligan. We'll keep the 2-drop since we do have the coin, but we really want to see those 1s. So we'll have to coin out a 2 into a 2 into a 3 probably, but we'll see what happens. Living Roots is possibility still. Living Roots against a Warrior on 1 is probably better than on like 3 because of stuff like Ravaging Ghoul. But I don't know. This is... Well, every matchup's going to be a tough matchup because we only have common cards in our deck. So it's going to be a challenge regardless of what we do. But I don't know. Warrior might not be too bad. They can have trouble with like Zoo style decks. But we don't have like reach damage like a Hunter does, where they can just kind of kill the Warrior after they get halfway through the first 5 turns, right? So we kind of have to work for it. Make sure our board stays alive. Especially without like Swipe or Starfire. So we'll have to make the board stick, and I just don't know that we'll be able to. Fire War Axe right here probably wins in the game, just right off the bat. They always have it. What can you do? They always have it. I just don't know what to do now. I mean, do I have to go for a big Power of the Wild? Can I Direwolf Alpha just eat the axe? I don't know. I'd like to play the Mounted Raptor, but we had to coin that out because we didn't see the 1-drop. What is up with people taking forever? Let's go. Do I Raven Idol for a minion? It's kind of a waste of my turn. I mean, the Fire War Axe is always going to be there. It's the problem, right? So I guess we'll just throw this out to die. Do 2 damage. It's like the worst play ever, but our hand sucks. What 1-drops do we have? Abusive Sergeant, Argent Squires, Living Roots, Raven Idols. What this... I don't think I would have played it on 1 still. I probably would have still put out the huge toad, but... Well, that sucks. We were kind of hoping he never hit the armor button. And he already hit a big armor button. So Mounted Raptor's fine. This hand is better at reloading than it is at developing the board. So I just don't think we're going to get off to an aggressive enough start. He's already ahead. Because we've only done 1 damage and it's on turn 3 and we don't have a board. And all of which are things we're trying to do. This is worse against Disciple of Cthulhu. I'm super thrilled he has both of those. At least now we have another minion. Not a very good one though. I mean, there aren't any good 2-drop minions, but... Let's Icarus not exciting against that to me, but what do I know? So I can like Wrath Hero Power that. Sucks. I think I might just leave it alive and like Druid of the Flame, Argent Squire. Play this as a 5, obviously, because it would otherwise die to that. So he'll probably put his work into killing this one, or he might make a value trade this direction and kill the Hungry Crab. And like Disciple of Cthulhu in this, but we don't really know what. I guess this is actually a Ravaging Ghoul or a Raging Worgen deck, OTK deck. Looks like. Might be bad for me just because they have so much pyro shenanigans to clear. But if he doesn't draw his combo, I don't know, we might be able to stall the board out. This is really annoying. I'll have to Wrath. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. He's not going to have a lot of threats to develop, so... Naturalize is totally useless in this matchup, but it's actually worse than useless because you don't want to give him cards. He's trying to draw into a combo, so... Lord of the Arena. He used an Execute. I don't have a way to activate the Worgen or make it relevant. The North Sea Kraken's a good minion, but it's so slow. I want to take this just for next turn. He may have trouble dealing with it, honestly. The Axe doesn't line up well. He doesn't have Shield Slams. He used an Execute, so he may not have another one. And even if he does, he might have to activate with his face to take 6 damage. So, I don't know. The good thing about this deck is it doesn't have a ton of armor, so if that Worgen's down here, or we're able to place a taunt at the right time, we might win. We could be able to win. I don't think... Yeah, he's going to have to pass if he doesn't have, like, good draw options. He's probably sitting on, like, Ravaging Ghoul. He didn't want to play a Tempo Ravaging Ghoul, because he doesn't know what the hell our deck's about. Rightfully so. If he has Ravaging Ghoul Execute, that's really, really bad. I don't think he has Execute, though. It's very unlikely, but the Slam sets up the trade. At least he does take the damage this time. I need, like, a Living Roots right now. Or, actually, Tomb Spider's good. I'll take that. Say play... Ooh. Mookhla's big. Big and scary. I'm going to play this as a minion and hope to hit the next Power of the Wild and have a pretty nasty board. Hopefully he doesn't have like the Wild Pyro clear again, because that's pretty brutal. Especially if he has the Commanding Shout to protect his stuff. He has like Acolyte of Pain probably. Oh, God. That's like the worst. He had both in the top. Well, actually he's halfway through his deck, so still. It's not super likely to have both, but it's still annoying. So I can't even Mookla trade out of this. But I will still Mookla. And I'll actually trade as well. Because he doesn't have a lot of execute activators right now. I wish I could hero power it and save that minion. I don't think I can. Power of the Wild doesn't do anything. I could go face. Could just play this as a minion again. I guess I will. It's not ideal, right? Because we're kind of a token-y deck, but I need damage. This is 8 damage, so... That's not great. He's getting closer to the Worgen. I hope these are just all combo pieces. So we can at least get some hero power value now. God, I can't naturalize, though. I'm actually going all in on this Mookla instead of, I could banana this guy, but I want to push some damage. I know it's susceptible to Blood to Ichor and Ravaging Ghoul, and this becomes more susceptible to Execute if I stack up on it, but I think I have to. I just want to push as much damage right now as humanly possible. And I can't play around stuff right now. I have to play to win. Like, I gotta go all in. If I'm playing around Execute, I'm playing around Ravaging Ghoul, I'm gonna lose anyway. Because I don't apply enough pressure, and he's just drawing the Worgen. See, he has Execute too. You just, I mean, what can you do? Good lord. If I could mill the Worgen, I'd still have a chance, but I can only put him at 8 right now. So I can't even do that. He's playing the first deck in his life as a Worgen combo where he's gonna kill me with Thaurissan hits instead. He has the combo where he wouldn't Thaurissan. But at least he has enough pieces. He doesn't necessarily have the combo. Well, we really like this guy today, I guess. If he drew a bunch of cards and I could mill him, or at least burn some cards, like right now I can put him on 9 and that's not good enough, right? It's a totally dead draw. Just a totally dead draw right now. If he plays like Battle Rage, I'm gonna burn his cards. Oh, that's some card draw, but he played 2 cards to do it, so I can hero power to put him on 6. Never mind. It's just gonna hit me really hard. So now I probably have to naturalize that, but that for sure draws him into the combo. That's maybe the best draw in my deck, honestly. I guess we'll take the Raptor. It's pretty good on curve. I guess I'll mark the Raptor. Well, first off, we have to do this. It's just too nasty. How much damage does he have? 5, 6? So I guess I'll mark this. Pretty sure he has the combo though. I mean, we just gave him 2 cards. There's only 3 cards left. I know what the combo is. You don't have to well played me. We did this deck a week ago, buddy. Chill. Is he running double Rampage? Didn't we already see a Rampage? We already saw a Rampage. Did he just fatigue himself? He's running double Rampage, right? I guess for the Wild Pyro? I haven't seen that. I feel like that's a different edition than I've that I've seen. Yeah, we just don't have the gas. Just don't have it. There's just not enough good cards, right? Like, we're missing just good value cards. And we're very susceptible to board clear. And we ran into it twice, both games. We have to stake minions or we lose. So Ravaging Ghouls are bad. Lightning Storm is bad. In other words, Shaman and Warriors are bad, and those are every deck in the meta. So every matchup is Shaman and Warriors. So I don't think this deck is timed well. Maybe we should have went with a Shaman, but that wouldn't have been as much fun. I want a common Beast Druid. The all-common Beast Druid. Alright, let's try Warlock. They don't typically run board clears. So maybe we can get out to a good, fast start. Like, Huge Toad into Mark is actually pretty cool, as long as he doesn't play the Flame Imp on one. Ooh, Double Mark's giant, dude. It's probably going to be Reno, though, and we're just going to get Reno'd. Don't play Flame Imp. Don't play Flame Imp. Ooh, shiny. It's Reno, though, right? If they don't play the one, it's got to be Reno. It's either Reno or the worst zoo hand in history, so... Poor guy, either way. He's got it rough. There could be some logic to playing this as a minion next turn, depending on what he does. If he life taps and I mark, we kind of play into Shadow Bolt. But if I do this, we don't play into Shadow Bolt, and then we can buff one the turn after to play Shadow Bolt at least off curve. I guess he's thinking about like Dark Peddler right now, or Life Tap, I don't know. Knife Juggler. He thinks I won't want to trade, but I actually will because of this card. And Zoo's gonna have trouble dealing with this. I can actually mark it again next turn and just go face, and he'll have difficulty trading into it. We can, if he plays like a Imp Gang boss, we'll just naturalize. We don't care about giving him cards at all because he's a zoo. That's probably the best naturalize target other than like a Sea Giant, but I don't plan on letting the game go that far. I just want to have a 7/4 out and just kill him. Something like Defender Vargas is going to ruin our dreams. That's sort of annoying, right? Like, I think it means I have to mark. But not really, because he's just going to Abusive Sergeant top, right? So what if we just play the Druid of the Flame as a 5/2 instead? It'd still die to Abusive Sergeant, wouldn't it? Mounted Raptor doesn't trade super well, but it is on curve. I'm just going to go face here, of course. That was a good answer to what I have. He didn't want to play Imp Gang boss because he thought I was going to make a just super value trade. But I wouldn't have. I would have still gone face and naturalized. That's awfully good. No swipe, so we're just never going to be able to deal with this. Bad decks are bad, guys. He played it correctly. This could save me a lot of trouble if it hit the right target, but it didn't. Could have saved whatever comes out of this. But instead I lose the board altogether. I can Hero Power Direwolf, or actually Hero Power Power the Wild, probably, as a minion. So we're still losing. I mean, it looks like we're up on the board, but we're actually losing pretty hard. Just because we don't have what we need, which is a board. Ritual into Direwolf was an awfully good turn. That's a really good turn as well. I'll just play the Raven Idol for a spell. See what I get. Nourish and Wisps. Both of those are kind of intriguing. Wild Growth sucks. We don't want that. Nourish just to give me a big hand eventually, but it might be too slow. By the time I can play a Nourish, I might just lose the game because I don't have enough reactive spells. But Wisps is really good if I can like get 7 dudes out on an empty board. Or at least refill the board. I don't know, we'll try that. We'll play the Tomb Spider into this. It trades relatively well. Is this the one time in life where the Dragonhawk is the right pick? Or is the Patriarch better to like buff with Mark? It's a 5 mana 3/6 taunt. It's not bad, I guess. But this could be a 7/7 that has Wind Fury. I'm actually going to be greedy and take that. I just took 2 7-drops in my aggro deck. This is not going to go well, folks. I have a bad feeling about this. Captain's going to get me. Hopefully he has to make a bad trade at least. Abusive Sergeant would suck, but... Abusive Sergeant's coming down. Oh, Voidwalker. Well, that's not so bad. I think I'm still going to naturalize this. But what do we want to do for our play right now? Could taunt up this trade here. He'd have 3 damage on board with the naturalize. I think that's okay. If this taunt somehow magically survives, this could be a sick play. Or at least if he doesn't have a big board that is likely to trade into this. But it's you know, he's got Power Overwhelming. Power Overwhelming right here is very clean. Then he can trade this way too. That's less clean. Taking some damage, I don't mind that. This board's gross though. Soulfire. It's just gonna Soulfire it. Well, that is a little weird. Oh, Gormok. That's awesome. It's an amazing play. Now the question is, which do you trade in? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill the other one, so. So is this the Wisp's turn, I guess? He'd have 3 minions on board. Could summon 7 Wisps. They don't trade very well. Can look for like a Direwolf play the next turn. He's not running AoE. Let's try this. I don't think he's going to want to trade. He'll feel really bad about it. Even if he does, Hero Power Wrath starts to handle these things. Even Wrath here, maybe. We don't need the card necessarily. These are not beasts, so Mark is not very good. But Direwolf is awfully good. We're going to pull the trick he pulled on us. This is our Forbidden Ritual. Just don't keep playing so many dudes. And decide to go face like a crazy person. That would also be helpful. Yeah, now just go face. Just go face. You've got so many minions. You don't need to trade. If you trade, I can play more stuff. If you leave him alive, can't play anything. He's gonna trade a 6 damage in. Actually, 11. He's gonna trade 11 damage in. There's no way you make that play. Why? Oh, he's just trading 1 in. Well, that's even weirder. That just sets me up for this perfectly. But I gotta decide what the heck I want to kill, right? So definitely the Gormok. And we'll Wrath down this guy at the other half. And trade this way. Definitely the Direwolf. Definitely the Peddler. And definitely this guy. And we'll just play 2 big minions. Oh, I'm literally stupid. I just... If you can't tell, I'm a little tired and fussy in this video. If I was going to put them all on one side, it should be the left, not the right. So that anything I summoned goes in the right direction. But I can pretend it's for this Dragonhawk or something. I don't know. We'll make an excuse. It could be relevant too, right? Because now my damage is a little awkward. But I'm going to try to buff this, I think. Oh, jeez. How close to dead is he? We have 5, 6, 8, 9 damage. Oh, jeez. We're close to winning. Honestly. Can we win? Let's buff this guy up, right? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Yeah, let's just draw a card. Let's make this hard to kill. Naturalize is pretty good on the Imp Gang boss. It's going to delay my Mounted Raptor, but I don't really care. This just generates too much value. Or, excuse me, my Dragonhawk, not my Mounted Raptor. I'll go ahead and kill this just because it threatens my my Wolfie. Alright, so now he has to kill my board, or we might just win. I don't know. He actually could kill me too, like Leroy double power overwhelming. We've given him so many cards. So many cards. We've given him 4 cards, and he's obviously tapped a ton too. He's only 5 cards ahead though. I think we're dead. Yep, Soulfire. Well, that sucked. Mark of Yashara should give Taunt as well. I know it'd be OP, but Mark of the Wild is better in that one small way. Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for me in the Common Druid. We actually came close a couple times there. That last game, obviously, we won the next turn, so it's kind of annoying. But not a bad deck. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a bad deck, but I think we did about what we could with what we had. In other words, we followed the prompt, only common cards. This might be one of the better decks you can build, other than perhaps that Shaman or Face Hunter. Seemed like it had some potential as well. But, you know, it's not a fundamentally broken deck, right? We competed at rank 4 with very classic decks, very strong, powerful, top-tier meta decks as a common-only class. As a common-only deck from a class that's not honestly all that powerful all the time, and still almost won some games. And rank 4 right now, still Legend players. I think pretty much everybody we played had the Legend card back. So, you know, it's kind of promising to see with just a few substitutions, and frankly, substitutions that aren't expensive. In fact, they'd be free, like adding in a Savage Roar, or a swipe, or obviously 2 swipes. Sneaking in a Savage Combatant or a Fandral Staghelm could make this deck competitively viable. Like, it'd be very good, and it'd still be very cheap to craft as well. So, yeah, we lost 3 straight games. Yeah, we had some frustrating experiences. So maybe not the best video necessarily, but I think it is still a promising example of what you can accomplish with a limited budget as long as you understand how to build a deck, how to think about curves, looking for synergies within your own collection, and then assembling a collection of cards or a set of cards that make sense together and have some exploitable, cool stuff that they can do, and allow you to win games. And although we didn't exactly win, I mean, if you played this same deck on rank 10 or rank 15, you'd probably win more than half your games, right? As long as you played it well and understood what you're supposed to do and how to win. I think this deck could compete. And frankly, this is not a refined or perfect or ideal list. I'd trust you to build one even better than this with some playtesting and some experimentation if you were just going through your collection and trying to assemble something on a budget. So that said, that's going to do it for my Common Druid Decksperiment. I think you can figure out the results for yourself. It was an abject failure in many ways, but still a promising expression of a demonstration of what you can do as a Hearthstone player with some creativity and even a small budget. So that said, I think next time for my Decksperiment, I'm going to do something even crazier, which is try to build a deck out of all rare cards. And it might sound like rare cards are better, but I think there are even fewer of them, and they have less synergies. Like, they tend to do specific things. They don't always like serve as fundamental pieces to a deck. So that's going to be a lot of fun and even more challenging than this one. So stay tuned for future Decksperiments. But until then, thanks so much for watching, and game on.